Leaving to find my soul. Told her I had to go. And I know it ain't pretty when our hearts get broke. Too young to feel this old, watching us both turn cold. Oh, I know it ain't pretty when two hearts get broke. Yeah, I know it ain't pretty when two hearts get broke. I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days. All our troubles will lay to rest, and we'll wish we could come back to these days, these days. I wish we could come back to these days, these days. 3 years of ups and downs, nothing to show for it now. And I know it ain't pretty when the fire burns out. Calling me when I'm drunk, reminding me what I've done. And I know it ain't pretty when you're trying to move on. I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days. All our troubles will lay to rest, and we'll wish we could come back to these days, these days. I wish we could come back to these days, these days. Cigarettes in the ashtray, reminiscing on those past days. I thought you'd end up with my last name, but that changed. And I traveled around the world, think where you living at now. I heard you moved to Austin, an apartment and settled down. And every once in a while I start texting, write a paragraph, but then I delete the message. Think about you in the past time. I could cry you a river, get you baptized. Or I wasn't ready to act right. Used to always think I'd get you back right. So they say that things fall apart. We were gonna move to Brooklyn, you were gonna study art. Love is just a tool to remind us who we are, and that we are not alone when we're moving in the dark. So I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days. And all our troubles will lay to rest, and we'll wish we could come back to these days, these days. We'll wish we could come back to these days, these days.